Now at 9, a grass fire burns more than 300 acres in southeast Kansas.
The city of Neosho is asking voters to approve a local use tax for online purchases. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Top lawmakers call for an investigation after a journalist mistakenly received sensitive attack plans. I'm Connor Hansen in New York with the latest coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Multiple fire departments worked to put out a grass fire that burned more than 300 acres in Cherokee County this week. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Now, this fire swept through an area about 3 miles north of Columbus along Highway 7. The blaze is out now, but crews had to battle it for a couple of days. At one point, they thought it was extinguished, but it rekindled in the high winds. Authorities estimate the fire covered 330 acres, but apparently did not damage any buildings. The Red Cross is helping families displaced by a fire that destroyed one home and damaged 2 others in Webb City today. The fire began at a home on Roan in Austin around 1 a.m. It was so intense it destroyed the home and then extended to the neighboring houses to the north and south. Firefighters from Webb City, Joplin, Carl Junction, and Oronogo responded. No one was hurt. The Red Cross is now helping 4 adults and 3 children who've lost their homes. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures dropping down into the lower 70s, and we do have mostly clear skies, though a few clouds are starting to push up from some storms north of us. Though they're going to stay north, we are going to see those clouds, but no more rain chances for the rest of the evening. Now, over the next couple of days, temperatures are going to drop. Today we got up to about 81, so it's really nice outside. But tomorrow, a little bit of a cooler day, mid-70s, upper 70s Saturday, and then we have another cold front coming through Saturday night and into Sunday that's going to drop our temperatures by about 10 degrees. And we are also seeing a slight risk for severe weather for half of us for Saturday as well. But I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
Lindsay. On April 8th, Neosho voters will be asked whether to approve Proposition A, which would create a local use tax for online purchases. The city hopes to use funds generated for a series of parks and recreational projects. KOAM's Samantha Walker has the details.
Neosho residents will see Proposition A on their ballots in April. That proposition will allow the city of Neosho to collect a local use tax on sales made online.
This would enact a 3%, which is the local sales tax rate for Neosho, for those online purchases when buying online.
So if passed, how would this tax work? The city manager tells me the tax would be based on your shipping address for online purchases. So if you live in Neosho city limits and have something delivered to your home from an online retailer like Amazon, you'd pay this local use tax.
The initiative would pull about $300,000 or $400,000 annually. That would help with the cost of development and building this in essence of a new park system.
If approved, city staff say funds generated from the local use tax will go towards several parks and recreation projects in the city. This includes an accessible playground, pickleball courts, upgrades to the city golf course, and a new aquatic center.
We're looking at a $10 million project for the aquatic center, for the improvements at the golf course. So, you know, obviously the city doesn't have $10 million.
He says the city wants to do these projects because many of them are amenities the community has enjoyed for years.
These are just things that you know, we've had in our community in the past, and they've aged out. We need to replace them, need to update them.
The city manager says if the proposition is not passed, the city will have to look at other options for these projects. Reporting in Neosho, I'm Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Neosho residents will vote on Proposition A on April 8th. You can learn more about what will be on your ballot on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. Well, police say it's a dangerous game teens are playing and someone could get hurt. You might have seen it in your social media news feed. It's called Senior Assassin. It's basically tag with water or Nerf guns. Kids shoot each other, and the one left standing wins and gets a prize. You can watch on social media. Sometimes kids attack their peers at night or jump out of a bush. But if there's a bystander who doesn't know it's a game, it could go wrong. And that's what happened in Florida, where an off-duty officer shot a student who was playing the game. Some Southwest Missouri school districts are staying proactive and warning about the game. Ozark schools made this Facebook post saying this activity is not allowed or currently happening on campus, but we have seen and received reports about escalating situations involving students in the name of the game. These behaviors, even when well-intended, could put students in unsafe situations both on and off campus. The Ozark police chief says officers responded to a situation that turned out to be the senior assassin game.
It did generate an emergency response from police officers. An individual that was dressed in dark and camo clothing with a face mask, and it was reported to us that they had a firearm.
Again, officers quickly discovered it was a game. Bolivar, Missouri schools have also banned the game. Investigators say a man hit by a train in Joplin yesterday was experiencing a mental health emergency at the time. The southbound train hit the man just south of the 15th Street crossing Wednesday afternoon. The man was rushed to the hospital. Authorities have not released an update on his condition. We have provided links to local mental health resources in this story on our website. Those include 24-hour hotlines for anyone experiencing a mental health crisis. Just go to KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up, War and Peace.
European leaders are meeting in Paris as they discuss efforts to create a lasting peace between Russia and Ukraine. In London, I'm Alex Hogan. I'll have more on this story coming up.
But first, while you're in spring cleaning mode, instead of throwing away items you no longer want, try giving yourself a boost of positivity by donating them. We look at research showing giving to others can make you happier. A nonprofit in Carthage wants to educate the community on do-it-yourself home improvement. Vision Carthage rolled out a project called Restoration Carthage, a series of community classes aimed at teaching improvements as well as empowering residents with the tools, resources, and knowledge to make a real difference. Spokesperson says all residents need to do is sign up.
Be an opportunity for people to really take advantage of some education leading up to that workday that we do in September. So through this application process, if people want to be considered, they need to attend at least 3 of the 7 workshops that we will be hosting April through October.
Restoration Carthage began in 2016. The program pairs volunteers with skilled laborers and materials to complete repairs on homes in need of TLC at no cost to the homeowner through partnerships with other nonprofits like Hearts and Hammers and Habitat for Humanity. Well, giving to others can help make you happier. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look at how you can take advantage of this mood-boosting tip through spring cleaning.
Spring is officially here, and many people will be keeping with the annual tradition of ridding their homes of dust and clutter. But while tidying up can be tedious, spring cleaning might seem more appealing if you can unlock its mood-boosting secrets. As people scrub their homes and sort through junk drawers and coat closets, it's not uncommon for many to find furniture and clothing items they no longer need. But instead of throwing out unwanted goods, try donating them to your neighbors, local shelters, or charities. That's because researchers say giving is proven to help make you happier.
Around the world, we find that giving makes us 4 times happier than if we doubled our income.
In the wake of this month's recent International Day of Happiness, researchers, a part of the World Happiness Report, also examined special topics, including the impacts of caring and sharing.
The World Happiness Report looked at 3 different kinds of benevolence, charitable giving, volunteering, and also helping strangers. And it found, not surprisingly to scholars of philanthropy, that giving actually was associated with more happiness. People who gave in various ways felt happier.
But if all you accumulate during your spring cleaning ventures is dust bunnies and no donatable items, researchers say you can still raise your happiness this season by giving in other ways.
We might give somebody a ride, or we might check in on them and see how they're doing. All of those things count. Little acts of kindness mean something, not just for the person you're helping, but also for you.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Now Bad advice. Well, Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later nearly 1,700 high school students hit the campus of Crowder College today for the annual Aggie Day.
Well, we finally hit 80s today. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. It was a pretty nice day, a little cloudy. We had some sprinkles there late afternoon, but clouds cleared. We have a good looking night tonight and winds are calm. So we hit about 81 degrees. Now that's closer to our record than it is our average. Normally we should be seeing temperatures in the mid 60s, but we've been well above average for at least a week or two now. And we have seen a lot of clouds earlier today. Clouds cleared. We've got a few more clouds pushing in from storms up to the northwest of us, but they're not going to move into our area. We're likely not going to see any more rain until tomorrow evening, but we are seeing a few more clouds pushing into the area. Now, tomorrow temperatures are going to be a bit cooler because from those showers we saw today, we did have a wind shift line. It's going to drop our temperatures about 10 degrees, so we're getting down into the lower 70s. You can see a little bit windy there as well. We're going to see winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour, which we're going to take a look at in a moment. We also have a low to elevated risk on Saturday for storms. So we're going to get possible showers tomorrow night, but our next severe threat will be on Saturday. So let's take a look. All right, like I said, we're going to see these winds gusting 25, 30 miles per hour. This is about 11 a.m. Winds out of the south. They've shifted again. Those continue until about 5, 6 p.m. in the afternoon. Winds do calm down a little bit, and then we have a little front pushing through on Saturday. Winds pick back up early ahead of that front before it moves in overnight. We're going to see again 25, 30 miles per hour. Nothing too crazy. We've seen windier days before. And then there you can see that front starting to push in, and it is bringing potential for some storms. Now, Friday, we're expecting a couple of showers, not really looking at isolated thunderstorms, but we could see a few showers south of I-44 moving into the Joplin area. This is going to be late morning, to midday on Friday. Not a big threat. Clouds move out. We're going to have clouds moving back in by 9 p.m. as well. Again, temperatures getting into the lower 70s, so not so bad. Might see some sprinkles early Saturday morning, but our threat for the severe weather is going to be later in the day. We have clouds breaking by the time we hit our high, which is going to be in the upper 70s, again, maybe hitting 80 degrees. And then we've got that line of storms moving in. Some of these could be severe. We've got some isolated potential storms there, but a lot of that threat is going to be to the north of us. There you can see where that low pressure system moves in. You can see where the center of the low is. But we are still expecting some of those isolated storms, and that's going to be continuing into early Sunday morning. And this is a bit of an upper level view. So we've got our low pressure system moving in. This is Sunday pretty early in the morning. This is a later model, long range model. So it is showing a little bit later, but line of storms moving in, kind of breaking apart. But you have that potential for some severe weather. As of right now, hail, wind threat, could still see a tornado threat, but a little bit of a messy system, but does drop temperatures down about 10 degrees on Sunday, and then a little bit cooler on Monday as well. Now, it's a similar setup that we had last week. It did result in a mainly hail threat, but we're definitely going to keep an eye on that, and then we go back to mild temperatures next week.
Okay. A little bit of everything there. I see an 80-degree day.
Another 80-degree day in there.
Not bad. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Local coin collector Dave Sorek educated seniors at the Parsons Presbyterian Manor today about the history and value of common older coins. Sorek used his 45-year expertise to teach residents about the many changes in the Lincoln cent and how to prepare for a coin appraisal.
It's timely in as much as there's so much discussion about the 2025 Lincoln cent and the discontinuation of the penny. And that raises lots of questions about, well, what's going to happen next? But we've been through this before in the United States, something like 17 or 18 times before we've discontinued coins.
Well, Sorek plans to host another event on April 11th at Labette Bank in Parsons. Coming up, computer-grown crops.
Farmers are learning more about AI than you are. I'm Eben Brown in Miami. I'll have that story straight ahead.
Crowder College hosted its annual Aggie Day competitions today, welcoming nearly 1,700 high school students, teachers, and volunteers from the four-state area. The event featured 16 contests, all designed to help students prepare for upcoming Southwest Missouri competitions that qualify teams for state.
We have various contests that are using their skills to help them use their critical thinking to defend their reasons and to communicate that well to their judges. And so we're really happy to have the best and the brightest in the area here today.
So as a high school student coming onto a college campus, I think exposes them to a little bit of just what college campus life is like. And we can kind of introduce them to our ag department and the opportunities that we have for them here.
With decades of tradition, Aggie Day continues to celebrate agriculture while providing students with hands-on experience. As food prices remain stubbornly high, the use of AI in farming and agriculture is exploding. Fox's Eben Brown has more in this edition of our Fox on Tech series.
Food still isn't cheap, and the government says it'll stay that way. The USDA is predicting overall prices will increase at least 2% this year. A big driver of those costs is simple supply and demand, and now farmers are increasingly turning to artificial intelligence to boost their crop yields, hoping to reduce the pressure on the supply chain. But not all farms can afford the sophisticated software or hardware needed to make it function.
It's not just a matter of getting information, it's a matter of deploying new technology, new devices, and so on. So it's a little bit more complicated.
At the moment, the main focus is on data and analytics, with AI helping farmers decide what to plant, when to plant it, and when to harvest. And that could all end up alleviating shortages across the board.
AI could help automate the supply chain, meaning deciding when to irrigate, when to order inventory.
And it's already having an impact. In California's Central Valley, which accounts for about a quarter of America's overall food output, AI is monitoring crops and irrigation, and experts say the more farmers learn about what AI can do, the more they will use it.
Maybe farmers don't want the data to be collected, right, because there's privacy concerns. So the point being is to at least inform them of options and, alleviate some of those concerns.
The global AI agriculture marketplace is worth about $2 billion. They expect that to shoot up to $7 billion in the coming decade. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
The Osho Junior High students show off their culinary skills in a kitchen cook-off competition. Next. Neosho Junior High students put their culinary skills to the test in a high-stakes kitchen cook-off. This evening's competition challenged students to create custom recipes under strict time limits. In the end, one winner was crowned, Team Whisk It for the Biscuit. Great name. But all participants took home new skills and a special chef's coat.
The cooking competition is really cool. It's like a really good way to engage with especially students with cooking, along with the competition part of it. It's a really fun experience, and I'm glad to be able to say that I was a part of.
We've talked about it for the past 3 months. They've come up with recipes. They've tested a couple different variations to see what flavor combinations they like best. We've talked about different sauces.
The young chefs were judged on taste, visual appearance, and how well they followed instructions. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. Coming up, Senate leaders call for an investigation into the use of a private messaging app for military plans. And European leaders meet in Paris to push for a Ukraine ceasefire. But ongoing Russian attacks raise doubts about lasting peace.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. As questions continue to build over what's now being dubbed Signalgate, high-ranking lawmakers call for an official investigation into how a journalist was added to a private group chat where national security officials discussed sensitive military plans. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen reports.
Both the top Democrat and the top Republican on the Senate Armed Services Committee have now requested an official investigation into the use of the Signal app to discuss military plans. They want to know if classified information was sent over the commercial network and how a journalist was added to a group chat where top Trump administration officials discussed specific details of an upcoming strike in Yemen. President Trump has said an inspector general investigation would not bother him, but the White House would rather move on.
The president and our entire team have been incredibly transparent. We have taken every question under the sun about this story, and the National Security Advisor has taken responsibility for this mistake.
Democrats have called for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to resign, and one says he should even face charges. They're focusing on one message in particular in which Hegseth sent specific timing and details of the attack.
There was a crime here, and likely an intentional crime.
The Trump administration continues to insist no classified information was shared, despite growing calls from Democrats. A criminal investigation seems like a long shot.
It's not going to happen. It was an accidental thing. No classified information was leaked.
The White House said Wednesday that Elon Musk will be leading an investigation on their end into how Atlantic editor Jeffrey Goldberg's contact was added to the chat. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
In Virginia is making major strides to make America safer following the arrest of a top gang leader. The FBI says they arrested one of the top 3 MS-13 gang leaders in the country from his home today. Officials captured the 24-year-old from El Salvador without incident from his apartment in a residential neighborhood in Virginia, just south of D.C. Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel monitored the arrest from a location off-site as it took place. They say they hope to bring the task force model used in this arrest to all areas of the country. Ukraine's European allies meet for talks in Paris on how to cement a ceasefire with Russia. They're also considering proposals to deploy troops to keep the peace. Fox News correspondent Alex Hogan has the latest from London.
European leaders meeting today in Paris for talks on solidifying a ceasefire in Ukraine as diplomatic efforts to end the war are ramping up. They're also considering proposals for troop deployments to Ukraine to act as a peacekeeping force. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky pushing Europe to take a stronger approach to ensure Russia abides by any potential agreement.
I think more pressure on it, more packages of sanctions. Everybody understood and understand that Russia for today doesn't want any kind of peace.
The summit comes 2 days after the U.S. helped broker a pause to the fighting in the Black Sea, and a week after both sides agreed to a limited ceasefire on energy infrastructure. Many Ukrainians, however, remain skeptical about the possibility of lasting peace.
What can I say? Russia has never fulfilled its obligations and will not fulfill them now.
Last night, Russia launched a new round of drone attacks on Kharkiv, injuring at least a dozen people. Another attack hit a gas pipeline in Kherson. The continued strikes raising questions about how serious Russian President Vladimir Putin is about ending the war.
Far from proving that it really wants peace, Russia continues day after day to strike intensively Ukrainian territory, civilian targets included.
Building up a European force strong enough to keep the peace would be no small undertaking. Many countries are now discussing ramping up their military spending to become less reliant on the U.S. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, the Pittsburgh Community Theater prepares to kick off the 2025 season with a show featuring a familiar face.
Well, we had a warmer day today. We actually hit 81 degrees. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We've got clear skies right now and a light breeze, but overall it's a pretty mild night. Temperatures only dropping down into the mid 50s. So we're staying well above average. Normally we should be seeing lows in the low 40s and highs in the mid 60s, but we were closer to the record than we were our average today. I'm not complaining. I was happy about the warmer weather, and that's going to continue, though we do see a temperature drop. We do have some storms to the north of us, pushing in a few clouds as well, though rain isn't moving into our area until this weekend. So we get to enjoy the warmer temperatures a little bit longer. We do see a few clouds in the morning, Winds as well pick up, and we have temperatures reaching low 70s. So it's about a 10-degree drop than what we saw today because of our front that passed, but didn't bring a lot of rain chances to the area. Now tomorrow we may see a few sprinkles, but no thunderstorms. And then Saturday we have a low to elevated risk for half of us. Now there's some lack of confidence on the threats that we could see on Saturday, but we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. Now winds are going to start to gust up to 30 miles per hour starting Friday morning out of the south, and it is going to push in some warmer air. So temperatures on Friday getting up to low 70s, winds gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon. Now we're about 5:36 p.m. They die down a little bit overnight, but pick right back up as we head into Saturday morning and afternoon, gusting up to 30 miles per hour. We've definitely seen winds stronger than this before, so lighter gusts throughout the afternoon and leading up to our front that's going to be moving in later in the evening and overnight on Saturday. There's that cold front. You can see a nice wind shift line that is going to drop our temperatures quite drastically from Saturday to Sunday. So let's start with our future track. By 10 a.m. on Friday, clouds start to move in. Temperatures are pretty mild. We see a few showers south of I-44, but not a thunderstorm threat. And then clouds break up as we head into the evening. Now, like I said, temperatures reaching about 71 degrees. Clouds, overcast skies throughout most of the day on Saturday, most of the morning on Saturday. Again, mostly mild temperatures, a few sprinkles with some of those clouds, but they break up midday, which does kind of insinuate we might see the cap breaking as well. And that means that the cloud coverage is going to break apart, which lets instability rise up, causing some more chaotic storms that we could see overnight Saturday. Temperatures are warming up as well, right back to about 80 degrees. And then we have that front passing through overnight into Sunday morning. You can see where a few storms are popping off to the north of us. We could see some isolated storms a little bit further south of that, not quite showing on here, but that is going to be our threat. And we're even showing a little bit of that low pressure system moving into our upper level flow. And there's that line of storms that's giving us our elevated risk for severe weather. Now, temperatures do drop down into the mid to upper 60s on Sunday, and then another drop down to the upper 50s on Monday. But we're back to mild weather next week.
All right. So those storms on Saturday night, they'll be like after we're all in bed kind of thing.
Yes, so it's going to be a late night. If we do see severe weather leading up to Saturday night, it is going to be a late one.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Well, a Carthage man celebrates a milestone birthday today. Don Myers turned a young at heart, 106 years old. Now, Don's secret to long life, having the help of his daughter. His daughter and the community came out to join the party today at the Carthage Nazarene Church during today's Lunch for Seniors event.
Oh, wonderful. That's how much he's loved. And we had another party on Saturday for him. And he appreciates all this.
We did the math, and Don was born back in 1919. Wow. Well, coming up in sports, it's opening day for Major League Baseball. Ben McLeish checks in from the Royals season opener in Kansas City. Plus, Pittsburgh State football holds its first spring practice. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
We are still a long ways away from the start of the 2025 college football season in the 4 states. In fact, we're exactly 154 days away from the Gorillas and Lions playing their first games. Early this morning, though, Pittsburgh State football holds its first spring practice of the year. The Gorillas are going to look different in 2025. All 6 of their team captains from a year ago, they've all graduated and moved on. Right now, Pitt State is hoping to find that next group of leaders for this coming season.
These early spring practices, we are just trying to identify our leaders. We're just trying to come out here and work, stay consistent, be disciplined.
It's awesome. I mean, we spend all the first 2.5 months, working out every single day up early morning. It's good to get out here with all the guys, run around, hit some people. Obviously being an old lineman, I love to hit. That's the name of the game right there. But, just running out here with the brothers all day, getting better together, just working every single day for that end goal down in December.
The MIAA announces its 2025 Athletics Hall of Fame class this afternoon. 5 names familiar to the 4 states get inducted. That includes a couple of football players that went on to have careers in the NFL. Missouri Southern's Alan Barber, Pitt State's John Brown, 8-time track and field All-American Kiara Jones from Pitt State, along with Nikki Nill, Missouri Southern's all-time leader in career goals scored, and Shelly London, the 1995 MIAA Softball Player of the Year. The induction ceremony will take place in the first week of June. Well, today is opening day for Major League Baseball. The Royals face the Guardians at Kauffman Stadium. KOAM sports reporter Ben McLeish is in Kansas City with more.
After 4 long months, baseball is finally back in Kauffman Stadium, and the 30-plus thousand fans are ready for some baseball. I know I am. Shades, check. Baseball cap, check. Hot dog, check. That's a good hot dog.
2, 3, go
Let's go Royals!
Opening day is a special time for Royals fans. A time for enjoying America's pastime, eating peanuts and Cracker Jacks, and father and son bonding.
Talking about coming to an opening day this year with him now that we're in the baseball has been something we've really been looking forward to.
And fans all seem to agree on one thing. There's no better place to watch the Royals than right here at Kauffman Stadium.
People are nice here, food is great, it's a great atmosphere. Love opening day.
Of course, fans from around the country make the trip for opening day, but some are much closer, like lifelong fan Kathy Ferrero, who came right from Pittsburgh, Kansas.
George Brett going over 400 when he hit a double, standing on second base, raising his arms. I was here. I love everything about the Royals. I love everything about being here.
With 80 home games left, fans have plenty of opportunities to see the Royals play. Reporting from Kauffman Stadium, Ben McLeish, KOAM Sports.
Thanks, Ben. Unfortunately, the Royals fans who make the trip to Kauffman Stadium, well, they go home without a victory. Kansas City falls to Cleveland. Final score 7-4 in 10 innings. Michael Massey hits a sac fly in the bottom of the 9th to send it into extras, but the Guardians score 3 in the 10th. Meanwhile, over in St. Louis, the Cardinals win on opening day. They take down the Twins 5-3. Sonny Gray gets the win on the mound. He goes 5 innings, allowing 2 runs and striking out 6. Nolan Arenado and Lars Nootbaar, both of them hit home runs. That's it for sports. We're back right after this.
The opening show of Pittsburgh Community Theater's 2025 season begins this weekend, and it showcases a familiar face. KOAM's very own Anthony Saviello gives us a look into the rehearsals leading up to the opening night of Lend Me a Tenor.
The stage is set and the actors are in their places. A group mixed with those who have been around for years.
I'm actually surprised I can still memorize this much dialogue. Really, I mean, it's a challenge. When I was young, I could memorize like that. Give me that.
And those who are new to the scene.
The combination of actors who have been with the theater for years and years, very seasoned actors, getting to work and interact with the younger, newer members. It's just been lovely.
Written by Ken Ludwig, Lend Me a Tenor is a comedy about a night at the opera gone wrong. Faith Paoni, the show's director, says it's a show that will make you laugh.
I keep laughing every single time I watch the show. I'm snickering all the way through. I'm amazed that after 2 months, the comedic timing is still there. The funny stuff is still there, and it just hasn't gotten stale, and I think that's amazing.
One memory exclusive to those in the show is working with those they call friends.
And I am thrilled to be on stage with some of the people that I've worked with in the past here with the Pittsburgh Community Theater, and thrilled to share the stage with them because they're all so good.
I think the biggest challenge is directing friends and people you really like, and so you don't want to be mean, you don't want to be too strict, you want them to like you, and also everybody's a really good actor, the newcomers and the old timers, and everybody has an opinion and everybody knows how they do it, so that's been a challenge to keep that balance.
So if you're looking for laughs and a lot of opening and closing doors, just come to Memorial Auditorium March 28th, 29th, and 30th for Lend Me a Tenor. You'll see me, KOAM's very own Anthony Saviello, and you'll have a belly full of laughs. In Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
We can't wait to see it. For more information on how you can get your tickets, go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Jason Statham leads a working man as a former Black Ops agent. We take a look at that movie and more as we find out what's new in theaters and streaming after the break. A Blumhouse scary movie, Jason Statham-led action and more are all part of this week's new releases. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Mommy, are you going to have a good day today or a bad day?
New movies in theaters include the latest from Blumhouse, The Woman in the Yard.
Today's the day.
The scares follow a widow caring for her children who sees a woman on her front lawn, getting closer and closer, warning today's the day.
It kind of felt like it was showing me something.
Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega play a father and daughter dealing with the death of a unicorn when they accidentally hit and kill one, and the man's boss tries to exploit the creature's miraculous properties.
This isn't just some kidnapping. This is human trafficking.
Jason Statham leads a working man as a former Black Ops agent working in construction. When human traffickers kidnap his boss's daughter, he uses his skills to go on a mission to bring her home.
Where is he from? Is he yours?
The Penguin Lessons stars Steve Coogan and Jonathan Pryce. Inspired by a true story, the film is about an English teacher in Argentina in 1976, where amongst a divided nation and class of unteachable students, he rescues a penguin and it leads to a life-changing adventure. In select theaters and on demand is the Andy Kaufman documentary Thank You Very Much, featuring never-before-seen footage.
I get to wake up in the best place on earth. Holland, Michigan.
On streaming, Nicole Kidman stars in Prime Video's Holland, about a woman in a small Michigan town where a mystery starts to unravel, and it becomes clear their perfect life may not be what it seems.
This is totally crazy. But I trust your mom.
Plus, Netflix adds The Life List with Sophia Carson and Connie Britton, about a woman checking off a childhood bucket list given to her by her late mother. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a porcupine saying hello to you at the Fort Worth Zoo. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.